7:30 tonight, the city of Oakland is now moving forward with a $4.8 million pilot program to install speed safety cameras across the city. The city council approving the program just this afternoon, with funding to come from state transportation grants. So 18 locations have been proposed for the cameras that are identified as dangerous corridors. Oakland city officials say unsafe speed is a primary factor in 1 out of 4 traffic fatalities. So we want to go in depth tonight on these speed cameras now coming to Oakland. And welcome to the show this evening, Warren Logan, a board member for the group called Transform California. Really nice to have you here, Warren. So we had this pilot program approved by the city council. What do you think about these speed cameras coming to Oakland? A good thing?
It's a great thing. Yeah.
Tell me why you believe that.
You know, because traffic safety is a major issue in the city, and I think most people would like to not get hit by cars. Just plain and simple.
But what do you say to those who are opposed because of privacy concerns?
Yeah, that came up a lot during the advocacy for this issue, and we worked with a number of organizations just like Transform to make sure that that's baked in. And so privacy is really at the top of the issue. But I think at the same time, it's about balance, right? Making sure that people are feeling safe on our roadways, driving safely, walking, biking, and taking transit safely, and balancing that with people's personal safety.
Can you tell us how these 18 locations were identified?
Yeah, you had mentioned they are dangerous locations. In fact, they are the most dangerous locations. The city has a number of corridors that are where most of our traffic fatalities occur. It's our high injury network. And so these are the locations that the state actually required every city that's part of this pilot to place the cameras on those dangerous locations.
Okay, so explain to people exactly how the speed cameras will work.
Yeah, so if you are driving, I think it's 11 miles per hour over the speed limit, you will have a photo of your license plate taken, and then a ticket is sent to your wherever your car is registered. What's important, though, is that for the first iteration of this program, you're going to receive warnings. So there's no surprise here.
When you talk about 11 miles over the speed limit, I mean, yes, that's speeding, but I guess really it's magnified when you're talking about on city streets.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about how speed plays a factor here.
Yeah, so the research is pretty clear on this, that any mile per hour over 25, you are increasing the lethality or the possibility of dying. And what's interesting is that that study is based on the average vehicle weight from like 1980. You know how big and heavy cars have gotten in the last 40 years. And so it's critical that people are driving not only the speed limit, but ideally lower than the speed limit at this point.
Yeah, we also have seen the same thing in San Francisco, still waiting to issue tickets there. Do you really believe that this will be a deterrent, and if so, how?
I believe it will be, because even though we're piloting it here in California, this is not the first place to ever use this technology. In fact, California is one of the last places to use the technology. Everywhere we've seen this, we've seen drastic reductions in speeding and, by extension, in fatalities from traffic collisions.
Okay, so as we mentioned, City Council approved it. What's next in the process? I mean, how quickly might people here in Oakland see these speed cameras?
It's not tomorrow. We know that. Over the next couple of months, I'm confident that the Department of Transportation, along with the mayor's office and your local city council, will share more information, and then you'll start to see a rollout. But there will be signage, there will be plenty of notification before anybody receives a notice in the mail that, again, will be a warning before a ticket.
Let's talk a little bit about your group, Transform California. What does it do, and why did you get behind a project like this?
Absolutely. So Transform sits at the intersection of equitable transportation solutions, affordable housing, and climate action, because we feel that that's where the mix really is. We recognize that the transportation sector has a major force in the air we breathe, in the quality of the world around us. And so we want to make sure that we are not only making sure the streets are safe for people to walk and bike and take transit, but that you are feeling comfortable in your own mode of transportation.
Yeah, well, given that mission, it makes sense that you would back something like this. We do have a map that shows those 18 locations. Can you just tell us a few of where they're located, where these new speed cameras are going to go up?
Absolutely. So what you're seeing here are all of the high injury network corridors. That's the lines there. And the green, of course, are the major intersections where we know are unsafe. So one is right near the studio, which is right at, I think, by Jack London and 980. You've seen a couple on 7th Street, again, a major thoroughfare where people speed. There's one on Grand and I believe Adeline, again, major speeding there. You've got one on San Pablo, lots of speeding there. The other component here is that this is geographically distributed across every district in the city. So no one should feel like they are getting singled out. We have this challenge everywhere in the city, and so we're trying to address it everywhere.
Okay, final question for you, Warren. For those who still aren't on board with this idea, what do you tell them about the difference that you believe these cameras will make?
I think it's the difference of life and death. And what we know in Oakland and across this country is that the people who are dying by getting hit by a car are young black kids and elderly Chinese people. That is the statistic here in Oakland. And it is one of the leading causes of death. And so while I recognize that people want to maintain their privacy and that they want to perhaps speed across our city, don't, because someone's life is at stake.
All right, we're going to leave the conversation there. Really appreciate you coming in tonight. Again, the Oakland City Council green-lighting a pilot program to add speed cameras here in the city. Thank you so much, Ward. Appreciate it.